Well, hello there. Welcome to this week's video. It is the 24th of July 2023. My name is Karen from karenturpin.com. And this week I'm going to be talking about psychic trespassing. Because there are just places and spaces that you simply don't have the right to enter. Yes, even if it's just with your mind and your consciousness. So I'm going to talk about that for a little while, because over the years, people have often asked me if I could tune into someone and do a reading on them, someone who's not present with us there, just to tell me what I think and feel about them or what they're up to. Now, of course, most commonly, this was people who wanted to know if their spouse or partner was cheating on them. That's usually the way it went. I wouldn't do it, and I have never done it, because I believe it's wrong. I believe that nobody has the right to enter another person's energy field and read them without their permission. So I have an analogy for this. You might have heard it before. It's the one I usually use because it's really spot on. So let me say, for example, I meet you, we're friends, and you say, hey, come on over and have a cup of tea, and a piece of cake with me. So I show up at your place, we sit down, you go to the fridge and you go, oh, I'm out of milk. Wait here a minute, I'll just pop to the corner store and I'll get some. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Off you go to the corner store to get the milk. And there I am sitting in your kitchen. Now I'm going to sit in your kitchen and wait for you. These days, we'd probably scroll on social media, wouldn't we? But otherwise, I would just sit there and wait in your kitchen. If it's a nice day, I might pop outside and walk around your garden. And I think that that's fine. What you don't want me to find when you return with the milk is me going through your cupboards and drawers. You don't want me in your you don't want me in your knicker drawer. You don't want me in your cupboards, in your wardrobes, looking in your office at your bank account statements. You don't want me doing that. It's wrong. I have no right to invade your personal space. And that's how I feel about going into somebody else's energy field and reading it when they haven't asked me to. If you come to me for a session, then I'm going to look in your energy field and work out things that we need to bring up and discuss. But I don't go into your private cupboards and drawers in your house. And I won't do it in your energy field. Even if you're a client of mine and we have a session and you go away, I'm not going to come back in your energy field to have a little look because you gave me permission once 5 years ago. What we do together happens right there and then in the session. When you leave, the end. It stops right there and then. So when people discover that I'm psychic, they respond in one of a few ways. The first lot of people shut down and leave me as quickly as possible because they're like, oh my God, she's psychic, get me out of here. There are those. The other lot of people, or another lot of people, are fascinated. And they're like, wow, you're psychic. That's amazing. It's nice, but really anyone could develop it. And the right training, the right teacher, and time to develop it. We could all do that. It's available to all of us. But then the other lot of people say, oh, psychic, what can you see in me? And I say, nothing. And then they're disappointed, which is sad. But I explain to them that I see nothing because I'm not looking for anything. If I was open, switched on 24/7, I would be massively overwhelmed by all the psychic energy that's around and the messages and the feelings and sensations that I'm getting from everyone, from everywhere, all the time. I've been there before. I understand now how to not be bombarded by all of that stuff. And this is what empaths feel all the time, right? So I'm not switched on to what's in other people's energy fields all the time. I've learnt to shut that down, turn the volume down on it if you like. Now, secondly, I'm a professional. I've done this work for more than 25 years. I've done training with some of the world's best teachers, and people pay me for my expertise. And I value the exchange that we have when we work together in that way. It's not a party trick. I consider this sacred, and it's part of my sole purpose. Now, if you were at a party and you met an ear, nose and throat specialist, you're not going to expect him or her to peer down your throat and have a look at what's there, are you? I believe you have to be respectful of people's energy fields in the same way, because it's their part of their body and their soul is there, and you don't have the right to just go barging in and have a look whenever you fancy. So you can argue then that, if I'm at a party and someone says, "Oh, can you read me quick?" Well, you could say, you've got their permission, so therefore you should do it. But no, I won't. I'm a professional. Come and see me in my office, just as you would any other professional. Or, these days, come and see me on Zoom, because that's where I work. But as I said, you wouldn't expect an ear, nose and throat specialist to give you an on-the-spot consultation. You would visit him or her in their office. And that's what you do with professionals. If we ever want to be taken seriously for our profession and for our skills, then we have to put these boundaries in place. Anyone with the right training could become a surgeon, but you wouldn't want them wielding a scalpel when you're out having a party, would you? You would go to the appropriate location to meet with them. Okay, so let's talk about reading tarot cards, for example, or tuning in psychically to public figures, and then putting that out there as a video on YouTube, for example. And yes, I am pointing my finger at a few people that do this. They have huge followings because everyone wants a bit of juicy gossip, especially about a celebrity or a high-profile person. So, yeah, you can say I'm judging them for doing it and criticizing them. Yeah, I kind of am. But this is my opinion. And in my opinion, I think it's wrong. They have tuned into these high-profile people without their permission. And they are reading them for the amount of followers that they get, for the amount of clicks that they get, and really probably to sensationalize everything, because everyone's like, "Oh, quick, she's done a reading on this person, or he's done a reading on that person." It's very attractive to people that want all the gossip. It's addictive too. They want more and more. They write to these people and say, "Oh, could you do a quick reading on that one, please?" And this is people that are both dead and alive, by the way. So yeah, in my opinion, it's wrong and you shouldn't do it. Please have some respect. Even if they are a public figure, right? Would you break and enter into their home to have a little look around? Probably not. And this is really the same as breaking and entering into their energy field to have a little look around. Sure, you're not the one doing it, but those people that I'm not going to name, those people on YouTube are doing it. Basically, they are breaking and entering into another person's energy field. It's not okay. It's not okay. Personally, I do believe that there is some karmic implications for this. It's just plain wrong, in my opinion. And honestly, I just wouldn't trust these people that are doing these readings, because they're showing me that they have no respect for this person's privacy. They have no integrity, and they don't care about people's personal boundaries. And that's a bit of a problem for me. I'm very passionate about, protection of our energy field, really, because there is some weird energies out there. There are people that want to enter your field and mess around with it. And, we could say, oh, is it dark energies and all of that? Yes, all of that exists out there. I wouldn't actually look at these people on YouTube and say, oh my God, she's a dark energy, or she's this or he's that. But the point is, it is an invasion of our privacy. They have no right to enter another person's energy field and make it public. If one of those people went to them and said, oh, please do a psychic reading on me and put it all over YouTube, I actually don't think they would. I really don't think they would. And I think that, we have to respect people's privacy and rights, because in this day and age, everything's open slather all over the internet. And it's not right. It causes harm, So from my experience of many years, being involved with some different spiritual groups, being involved in grid work projects as well sometimes, we've done remote viewing into places and spaces. And I learned very quickly that some of those spaces that, the teacher or leader was asking us to go into in remote view, some of those places we were not welcome. It's none of our business. So I've done that kind of thing before in the past, many years ago, kind of put my psychic vision into a space, different locations, grid locations around the planet, and this, that, and the other. Remote viewing is used by the CIA, of course, to see what's going on. And, I get their perspective. They're trying to, national security or whatever it is that they claim. So I'm not in that league. I don't go and snoop in the CIA offices and see what's going on. I don't think it's right. Actually, I don't think it's right. And there are different dimensional levels and realities and pockets of energy and consciousness traps that when you put your psychic awareness in, you're actually building an energetic link between those spaces. And you can say, oh, I'm just going to go in, have a little look around, and then I'll be out. But they know you're there. Even if it appears that everybody's got their back to you and you sneak in and look round behind, they know you're there. Something in that energy, that consciousness, knows that you've dipped your toe into that pond. And I have seen that there's not always, it's not welcome. And there's been some very negative repercussions from that. So I'm talking about big projects. I'm talking about underground bases and all sorts of things like that. I want to just narrow this down and say that I think I'll end it here, and let's just say you don't have the right, you don't have permission to go in every place or space that you think you can. Sure, you can enter, but they know you're there. They know you've been there, and it's an invasion of someone's privacy. Now, okay, you can argue, well, they're doing dark and terrible things, and of course we want to go and have a look and shine a little bit of light onto it. And I'm all for awareness, and I'm all for bringing out the truth. But very often people are playing with energy that they don't fully understand, and there can be some dark, energetic repercussions from that. So I'm urging caution, okay? Let's bring it back again to the psychic readings. Please don't go into other people's energy field and poke around and see what you can find, because there are energetic repercussions to that. And just because you see some people with large followings doing it on YouTube, it doesn't mean that it's right. So I'm just saying, if we ever want our profession to be taken seriously, don't muck around with things that don't belong to you, that are not, that you don't have permission to go into. And please don't do readings on people's spouses, because there's lessons of growth in all of that stuff. But you really are dabbling and poking around in places that don't belong to you. So that's my kind of little words of caution today. And I don't know, a smack wrist maybe for some of these people that do this on YouTube. Not that they'll probably ever look at this video or hear about it, but anyway, I'm saying it to you. Just be aware of this and have a look at the person's integrity, and do they respect other people's personal boundaries? Just ask yourself those questions. Would you like someone just tuning into you, putting it all over YouTube, or tuning into you and putting it on your office social network? It's kind of not right. Anyway, there you go. That's me holding the banner for truth and integrity. If you found this video interesting or useful, please like and subscribe and share it with your friends, so that YouTube will use its algorithms to promote it to more people who may learn a thing or two. You never know. But anyway, come on over into my Facebook group where we can have more communication. It's called Awake, Aware, Sovereign and Free over on Facebook, and check out my website, which is karenturpin.com. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.